Welcome back everyone to theCUBE's live coverage streaming in Chicago for Nutanix NEXT. I'm John Furrier, host of theCUBE. Alison Kosik is here. We've got all the angles covered. We got the two executives at Nutanix who have the keys to the kingdom. They run the product strategy and the architecture. Thomas, great to see you, Executive Vice President, Product Management. You get the finger on the button.
Awesome
Ketan,
to be
great
here.
to have you. You're back on, VP of Product Management. You guys really are thundering away. Congratulations, first of all, on the news. I'm super impressed. I have a lot of questions on execution, but you guys have crossed over, in my opinion, to be set up for a neutral layer of enablement at scale with cloud meeting AI native, cloud native meeting AI native, clearly a trend. I saw Kelsey Hightower here, who's been on theCUBE, early days of KubeCon. That world of open source and large scale systems with Kubernetes and hybrid cloud now the standard, it's a done deal, now powering this next level of AI native companies, AI native developers, AI native infrastructure engineers working on that layer that's going to match up against cloud data. So I guess my first question, Thomas, to you is, are you seeing the kind of demand for this layer? Because we're seeing a lot of demand for AI infrastructure, give me more tokens. You're seeing AI go wild with the agents, and OpenClaw is the best marketing tactic that I've ever seen to get everyone addicted to coding agents. So I feel like there's demand. Are you seeing demand?
We're definitely feeling it, and we're feeling the pressure, I think, on our customers. Because all of them are looking for ways to go actually make this work and deploy it in a way that makes sense to them. So maybe if I can go back a little bit in terms of what are we seeing in terms of core themes of where we see enterprise environments come up. You can't ignore the macro. There's all the tech stuff around AI and everything, and we got big announcements around enabling that, right? But the macro is take care of your data, sovereign, have control. Nobody has time anymore. Everything's moving so fast. I need help to actually stand up environments and make them run and keep them secure, right? And so this is where we've been able to come in, Nutanix. You talk about the progress we made in platform. Jam-packed announcements, right? That is .next. We have 40 plus announcements. Innovation, partner announcements, the ecosystem coming to us. But the key pieces really are around helping our customers do more with our Nutanix Cloud Platform on the hardware they already have. The keyword we used in our keynote was leverage. Leverage what you have. We know supply chain right now is difficult. Leverage what you have and still unleash what you can do using our cloud platform, using our Kubernetes platform, using our new agentic AI solutions, which again are all around keeping your cloud operating model, extending that to anything you want to do in terms of your new applications.
In the keynote, Rajiv does a great job. He gets to geek out, or nerd out as we say. He likes to show the architecture slides. He's been doing this on the keynotes.
That's right.
Today, more than ever, the architecture is the key for large scale, horizontal and vertical domain specific AI.
Yeah.
What should people know about this year's architecture? Certainly we'll get to the ecosystem, which is a whole nother competitive opportunity, because they're also co-engineering with Nutanix. But what's in the architecture piece that's significant this year?
Yeah, so, and you'll see in our main announcements around, look, the cloud platform is evolving to be ready and keep our customers ready for the agentic AI era. Right, so maybe I'll turn it over to Ketan because he's been driving a lot of this work and can tell you more details.
Okay, give us the update on what's new, what was announced, what are the key highlights?
Yeah, there were 4 big areas of announcements. So this is one of our biggest releases we've ever done in the history of Nutanix. So we're doing a lot of work around making sure Nutanix Cloud Platform is driving the agentic AI era adoption for organizations. Okay. It's all about optimization, security, governance, and performance for those workloads. We're driving a world where VMs and containers are going to run side by side for a long time, so doing a lot of work around one experience for VMs and containers. We know there's a supply chain constraint, so we're driving a lot of work with our ecosystem to make sure Nutanix can run on a wide variety of servers, support a wide range of external storage vendors as well. And then finally, we're driving a lot of work in our management layer to make sure it's easy to use at large scale in distributed environments, especially in the era of sovereign where everybody wants control without any dependency. And we're not just doing things ourselves, right? We're doing this with a platform of ecosystem vendors across cloud providers, infrastructure providers, application providers as well.
You know, one of the things we were talking on our last segment you were on, is that the AI strategy is not a risk. Because the decisions have been made. We need to infuse AI into everything.
You do, yeah.
Everything, not like have an AI team, it's like about everything. But the conversations we're having on our research side, and also here on theCUBE, is how do you do it? So that brings up the execution risk. That seems to be the #1 thing. So that's put that out there, and then I'll add this. This is the preamble to the question for both of you. Okay, I want to talk about execution. How do we do this? The second observation I want your reaction to is, you have 3 personas developing that are all talking to each other. You got developers, because we're talking about software now, being kind of commoditized. Software's engraved in everything, that's essentially AI. The system is the key. That's why I asked the architecture. Developers. Deep tech, IT buyers, influencers, people who are doing observability, thinking about VMs, the role of VMs, you have this whole layer of IT. I don't know what to call it. It's a name, probably a better marketing name. And at the top is the C-suite.
Yep.
All 3 of those main tribes or groups are talking about the same thing. This is catapulting Nutanix and other tech companies into being a technology conversation, into not only, and business model transformation.
Your
thoughts
I
on
like
this?
the way you said it, right? Because you kind of lay out that pyramid of, C-suite, your developers, your agentic AI developers, and then your infra platform people, right? And end of the day, the C-suite wants it done now, yesterday. The developers actually want to do it now because it's all new stuff. It changes the way you actually build applications. And we see it ourselves, by the way. We look at our own teams and their own usage of AI to actually build software. And depending on where you are in the stack, we see just massive gains in productivity, and then things that you could get done now in a matter of weeks that would have taken years in the past. So that's massive game changing in terms of, now this is possible. It's lowering the cost of this new thing I had an idea of that I couldn't quite get done because too much investments, now I can do it. So again, more innovation, but underneath all this are the people that will make those environments available. And that's what we've seen as being a big hurdle. People go in the cloud and they get going. To do it on premises with all the control that you want, your data is important, control it, keep it sovereign behind your firewall. The teams that actually are running infrastructure, up until now, haven't had the tools to do this. It's been like, I'll do it and you take care of it later on. We saw this in DevOps. At some point DevOps got stuck because nobody was doing ops. This is the whole NKP story, right? Same story now for your agentic AI stack. And this is what our solution is all about, is empowering, literally, the infra teams, the people that will make those environments available for the rest of the organization to actually do this at scale without changing the way they actually run large-scale infrastructure.
Ketan, I want you to weigh in, because on the last segment you mentioned that Nutanix is a modern platform. You also said that VMs, the C-suite doesn't want to know what the role of the VM is. I asked that question to you, you had a great answer. But they want to know if it works, how much it's going to cost. We need to expand, we need to rethink our strategy. So in the context of being modern, take us through how people are talking about this and what you guys have, because you got the modern platform, it has to check the boxes, has to deliver value, and what they don't want to do is do a redo.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm doing a system architecture for a generation.
That's right.
This
in fact,
is a key thing.
And that's exactly right. The customers want a partner for the next decade, and that's what Thomas outlined with our AI, agentic AI solution. But one of the customers' question asked us is like, okay, how do I get started with Nutanix? I have this legacy infrastructure, how do I move? And a lot of the work we're doing in this release is to really take that path through modernization, simple and easy, right? So Nutanix has always been about agility and simplicity. So some of the announcements we made around, okay, Nutanix can now support a wide range of enterprise class servers. It's about helping customers reuse their existing servers. Our expansion with Dell storage, with PowerStore, Everpure storage, NetApp storage, Lenovo ThinkSystem. That's all about expanding our aperture so Nutanix can now integrate with those solutions that customers already have. And that itself reduces a hardware barrier to entry, right, for customers. They can, in the era of supply chain, they get started right away. We're doing some innovative stuff to also get customers over to Nutanix in terms of migration, tooling, and application modernization. And then finally, our partners. We have big partners like Cisco, Dell, Lenovo. They're taking and bringing a validated solutions approach end to end, so that kind of also de-risks the modernization.
How would you describe the role of the VMs and virtualization for the C-suite? Hey, bottom line me, what does it mean for me?
Yeah, no, 100%. Virtualization has always been about agility, efficiency, simplicity, right? And that was true for traditional applications. That is true for modern containerized applications, and that's also true for agentic AI applications, right? So the fact that I can pack density, drive maximum utilization, get that level of efficiency for CPUs, also for GPUs, and then leverage the DPUs and the accelerated computing for acceleration. Those are all things that will remain. The other big area of importance is security and governance. So the role of virtualization for isolation is second to none.
Yeah,
and in the world of AI and agentic AI, there's emerging technologies like confidential computing. So those are also something that we're
You see that shining as agentic comes in.
100%.
Thomas, let's double click on agentic for a minute because to me, at least my perspective in watching is that the C-suite, like, hey, agents are real, but don't screw it up. Right? That would be my word. I don't think you would say it that way, but there's a lot of headroom, opportunity with agents.
We're at the very beginning.
And this is, you guys have an enablement opportunity with all the bulletproof platform underneath to bring a real business model, business value change.
What I love about this whole moment right now that we're going through, first of all, is disruption everywhere. You know, hardware is getting disrupted. You know, you can talk about GPUs and now LPUs and DPUs. Talk about the CPUs, you know, talking about the x86, talking about ARM CPUs, talking about, you know, companies like NVIDIA getting into, I'm going to give you ARM for anything, not just my dense accelerated platforms, right? So you got that going on. New questions now on what's my stack looking like. New questions on what are my applications looking like. You mentioned this thing, right? AI is going to eat software. Not all software in our view, because infrastructure is still required, it has to run on something, but it is really changing how you build software. So, just opportunities galore.
By the way,
you go back
software is actually going to increase because agents will be
everywhere,
creating software.
But the barrier to entry to create new software is actually getting lower, right? So, you go back to like what matters. I don't have resources, I need to make sure my utilization is high. I need to make sure that it's secure. I need to actually enable the people that are going to make the best use of these resources with self-service and governance. So all the topics that Ketan covered, which, end of the day, are the founding topics of what makes a cloud, is now getting extended. So this is really what we see as a massive opportunity for us.
I want to get into this because I think the announcement with NVIDIA and AMD shows some real neutral ecosystem. This SaaS apocalypse nonsense was out there, and I've beaten this dead horse many times, but the products change, software's everywhere. It's being created by agents, humans are curating it, the role of humans still there, those jobs aren't going to go, they're going to shift. All bad software dies. I mean, so if you think about the products will still have a lot of software, and so that's one thing. So that the evaluation of what stays and what goes is a function of who's got better software, or in this case, agent. But the key thing is it's the software, it's not about the software you run, it's the system you run. Because if software is everywhere, then system's the new category. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, that's to me an assessment to clear the air that this trend isn't about software going away or SaaS apps going away. Yeah, products will get better, but it's a systems game.
So what we like about this whole space again is AI is forcing people to look at compute on one side and data. So even the systems definition is broadening. My system is no longer my compute environment. It's actually compute and data together, because when we used to go and say, look, you can use data to go and do better business decisions, AI actually is now pulling that data. It requires the data to actually go drive. So you have to enable all these processes, and that's the notion of, hey, what is this system, is expanded as a result. Now what's nice with us, Nutanix, we've always been about data and compute together. I mean, data is in our DNA. We do things thinking about data problems, you know, and we always tie them together. So as we think about those next steps, how do I enable my developers to now get access to the right compute environment, the right development environment, leveraging AI to go faster, and we have announcements around NKP now, adding an AI catalog to actually enable those developers to go quickly build applications, bringing the data towards it in a curated fashion, make that easier. You saw the demos on our keynote. I mean, massive amount of new IP now to actually accelerate how you can actually bring data, good data, to your agentic platform. So there's just opportunities everywhere. Data's
integrated. Ketan, weigh in on this, because this is, again, where the ecosystem, to me, I wanted to get to, because I think the proof of a platform has always been the result of the ecosystem. But when you combine the system platform concept together in this co-design world we're living in, which is basically joint engineering.
That's right.
And road mapping.
Totally.
This is where your architecture, I think, really shows a lot of enablement. the proof will be in the ecosystem. We had Dell on, NetApp, and you got a slew of partners.
That's right.
This is not just, hey, go to market. This is product strategy.
100%.
What's your thoughts on this?
And that's part of the thing that we're really happy about, right? We've been able to run fast and drive a platform's ecosystem with all of these major vendors, right? So we have strong R&D relationships with Cisco, Dell, Everpure, Lenovo, NetApp, and it's all about, like, again, meeting customers where they are so we can run faster to their outcomes. Yes, today they have a big virtualization problem and we want to help them modernize that stack, right, with this ecosystem. But the ultimate goal and destination is, I want to modernize my applications and get to agentic AI, right? And so a journey, and we're building right now, is going to continue down that path as well. The other big thing that, we talk about sovereign a little bit, right? And increasingly, obviously, AI workloads, there's a need for privacy, and sovereignty also drives better cost economics. So Nutanix has been all about run anything, anywhere. And we're doing a lot of work in that area. And one of the big ecosystems component that we're announcing is something called Service Provider Central. And that will enable our service providers, as well as neoclouds, to offer a wide range of services leveraging Nutanix infrastructure as well. So that's a big component of our ecosystem as well.
Sovereign bet was a strong bet because, remember, the bet in sovereignty was cloud for data protection, basically.
Right.
I know we're simplifying, but if you look at the sovereign conversation now, it's not just data protection, it's data value by geography, by region. So you're starting to see a financial rethink, not just a technical one. Sovereignty is not just a technology, it's enabling countries, for instance.
That's right.
So sovereignty will be big. Any updates there in terms of strategy? Is it still,
so it's core, right? It's core to what we've been building. If you see announcements over the past year from Nutanix, we made sovereignty a core tenet of what we announced. What Ketan was calling out is these new announcements around how we enable service providers, give them a full stack to deliver a complete suite of services with multi-tenancy built in for maximum cost optimization, VM as a service, container as a service, database as a service, storage as a service, and now, inference endpoints and AI as a service. So all of this, thanks to Nutanix, becoming available to any MSP, anywhere, right? And that's a key thing, because of course, we can see the biggest ones, they have the skills, they have the talent. There's a lot of stuff in open source that you can actually go to leverage if you have the right people to go and build this yourself. That's how AWS, Google, and Azure were built. But you get out of the few top ones, and you have every country in the world wants their own sovereign champion. They need software, and this is where we come in.
If you guys have that control plane, again, I'm all over the sovereign. At the RAISE Summit this July in Paris, this will be the #1 conversation. It's very technical on one hand, but very business on the other. The telcos are going to hyper-converge with an edge factory device, so they're going to be connected. The economics in the AI actually favors local commerce, services. So this is why I see the financial side, business model side coming in. You nailed it. So a lot of people this is like a first generation opportunity that we've never seen at this level. I mean, there's been technical advantages of using VMs for isolation, but now you're talking about a country saying, you go to France and say, okay, local businesses.
That's right.
Here's some AI for you.
That's right.
And they're going to need to have a global.
They're going to use like a French version.
You're going to have another country.
Model,
and that's an economic. That's not just being national for national sake. That's just good economics.
That's right. It's
the telcos could get services. Not worry about bandwidth. Everybody gets lifted up.
It's like the electricity competitive advantage. Maybe that
you guys see this picture? Is that happening?
We totally see it. I think 2 years ago we were here. And we talked about Broadcom. And customers feeling like they had to do something because this was not a good position to be in, they need to diversify, they need to go and find a platform to modernize. And what we're seeing now is this focus on AI is actually bringing everything back in focus. So like, look, you actually need a platform that is not just to go and replace what you had, but this is really the platform that's going to help you get to where you want to be, and the speed of things is now forcing you to actually move. You cannot just go and keep on evaluating, because the world is moving super fast right now. New software is coming in super fast, so you have to make the right bets. And so this is just broadening what you have to consider. Sovereignty is a big one, of course. Self-service automation is another big one. Cost optimization. Be ready for those new apps, this new infrastructure, this new hardware that's coming in your data center that you have to go and actually run and manage and optimize.
Well, your TAM increases too, because yeah, you're going to knock down the infrastructure side, Kubernetes, VMs, you got that locked in. Now you're hearing things like shadow AI, the growth of agentic. This wasn't on the radar as a platform decision years ago, but now that cloud native has reached this level, the demand, back to our earlier question comes in, if I'm going to run agentic, why not have optionality for sovereignty, for private services, public services, kind of converging in a way. So I think, to me, we're hearing that here. AI factory operating model on stage. We heard shadow AI. Okay, and by the way, shadow AI makes shadow IT look like, elementary school. I mean, it was like, put your credit card down, get a pilot, hey, look, I can circumvent. Now, this is just fire everything with AI. It's all agents running around, and you're seeing consequences. What are you guys seeing? Because AI sprawl is good on one hand, get people the reps, but at the same time you got to rein it in.
This is about our enterprise AI product and our AI gateway product. You want to cover this?
Yeah, absolutely. So governance and observability is a key component of our enterprise AI solution. And exactly that problem statement, right? So, tokens, agent, especially with the advent of OpenClaw, NemoClaw, and those kind of agents are a lot more accessible. There's going to be an explosion of agents. And yes, they'll be running wild, and what is the token consumption, right? And before you know it, the costs add up, and that was the shadow AI problem. So one of the things we're building is something called AI Gateway, right? And that will help you sort of get visibility, right? You don't know what's running around, right? It'll help you get visibility into everything. And then you can help build policies around governance and chargeback, right? So I'm going to rate limit this agent, or if this agent is going to this endpoint for a model, I'm going to redirect them there. So that's the first step in that journey for cost governance. The next level is we can drive security governance, right? So if an agent has access to multiple MCP tools, databases, how do you make sure they're doing the right thing, right? And we'll build access control and policies, right? So cost and security governance is really key elements of our enterprise AI solution. And that'll help organizations with trust, right?
That's right.
Sovereignty is all about control, right? So we let customers in charge of this decisions, and they can trust it, and if they have a trusted provider, they can use that model as well, right?
So all running on cloud native.
All running on cloud native.
With intelligence.
That is true.
That's right, yeah.
All
right, final question. Thanks so much for unpacking. You guys are at the keys to the kingdom at Nutanix. You get the product, you see the customers, you know what the internal builds are going. What's next? What are you guys focused on now? What should people know about from the strategy standpoint and execution? What are you guys focused on? What are you optimizing for?
I think you're seeing it here, right? Nutanix, the entire culture in the company, customer first, platform first, ecosystem first. We are here because we actually work with people, we see everything as a win-win. We see opportunity everywhere right now. We're seeing ecosystem come to us. We're seeing customer demand. Everything is hybrid. We've been hybrid before hybrid was even something that people thought was realistic, right? We doubled down on it. AI is hybrid by default. This is what we're talking about. Starts in the cloud, but has to run at the edge, has to run in the core data center, has to be governed the same way. So, we're just at the beginning of yet another revolution. We talk about Nutanix being a hyper-converged company, we made a cloud platform company, we made a cloud native company, and now we're going to make it an agentic AI solution company. This is just the beginning. So I couldn't be more excited.
Hyper-converge, unconverge, converge, it's like, you see, this is evolution.
But I'll tell you what, and one thing that's defined us from the beginning is we take complexity out of how you actually run things. The more you see innovation, complexity is a constant. Every new thing that comes in starts hard, complicated. And so companies like us that are able to go and actually give you tools to make this easy, simplify how you get going, keep you safe as you start experimenting, getting access to the latest and greatest technologies. There's no limit,
basically
right?
the scaling laws would be scale intelligence.
That's right.
Human intelligence, infrastructure intelligence, that's what you guys are doing.
And it's hard stuff, right, to make infrastructure invisible, the promise of that, it's hard engineering work. And one of the things we're really fortunate about is, we talk about execution, right? So we've been really strong in execution in the last several years, and we have a very strong, talented engineering team, very excited. We're also very customer-centric, right? So yes, we have the best laid plans around virtualization, containers, and AI. But just in this conference, we've learned a lot, and we adapt fast based on customer needs.
Well,
and with that combination of engineering, execution, and
we'll be watching. Of course, we've been tracking it. I think the real nice surprise new tracking is on the ecosystem. It's not just a bunch of logos. There's intentional engineering involved.
That's right.
That's going to be the proof.
No, 100%.
We'll be tracking it.
We're co-engineering many of these solutions together for the better outcomes for
guys,
customers.
thanks for coming on, Share. I know you're super busy, you got a lot of meetings, a lot of partners.
Great to have you again, thank you.
Thanks for having theCUBE. I'm John Furrier
Pleasure.
with Alex Kosik here, Nutanix Live in Chicago 2026, bringing all the action. As agents come on, a new level of growth is coming. It's going to be super fast, built on cloud native, AI native, meets cloud native, all converging in a new layer of opportunity. Thanks for watching.